When we try to achieve our goal, at that time we do know that it's hard to start. It's a bit hard to start. But once we get into that thing, we would get that kind of confidence which is necessary to achieve that goal. In my case, even it was a bit hard for me because I come from a small town where people do not use this language and they do not show that kind of interest to learn this language even. So why it was hard for me to start? It is just because I had no one with whom I could practice. So in today's video, I am going to tell you that how did I tackle with that anxiety which I faced while speaking in English language. So if you are a beginner, then today's video is going to be helpful for all of you. So just be with me till the end of this video. When I thought to improve this language, I had watched so many videos and I tried to do all those things which I was told to do to improve this language. I learned grammar. I had learned all the grammar whatever I was told to learn. But after learning grammar, I had to do lot of things like LSRW. So I was okay with listening, reading, writing, but whenever it came to speaking, I became anxious. I was scared to speak in English language because I felt that if I utter anything in English, I would only make mistakes. So only to avoid mistakes, I skipped speaking in English language and I started searching for another ways in which way I could improve this language. After that even I watched so many videos, but in each videos they were telling that to improve this language I have to speak in English language. Once I was sitting in my room and reading something. After reading I thought that what should I do next? So I felt like to speak in English language. When this thought came into my mind, at that time I became anxious and didn't feel like to utter anything from my mouth. And that was the first day of my practice, English practice. Tried to utter something from my mouth, but I didn't get success in that. It is just because of my fear. I was afraid that I would only make mistakes if I utter anything from my mouth in English language. Actually, till that time, I had watched so many videos. I had watched those videos in which they were explaining their journey. All the journey, how did they start? How did they improve their language? And I realized that everyone had started from zero. Today, if they are able to speak this language, before few months ago, before a year ago, they were not able to speak this language. Same like me. Then why should I make excuses or why should I say that just because of this thing I am skipping to speak in English language just because of my fear? Then I do remember that the other day I told myself, actually I talked to myself. I only motivated myself that what if I am not able to speak this language today? But I have to start at least. One day I would be speak this language like them. So today I have to face this. So I spoke. I do remember that I spoke only 3 4 sentences, but after speaking those sentences, I was so satisfied. I felt that I was on cloud 9, and that's how I started speaking in English language. Whenever I got free time, chance, I spoke to myself. I didn't talk to anyone else in English language. Yes, I tried to speak to others in this language, but because they were not able to speak in English language, they were not able to answer me, sometimes they were not able to get this language even. So they avoided. I was able to get what they were feeling at that time when I spoke to them in this language. Yes, initially I also made so many mistakes, but somewhere I did know that after making mistakes, one day I would speak this language fluently. That's why I spoke to others in English language, but they didn't show that kind of interest in it. So I stopped talking to them even. Only 2 3 times I talked to others. Like I have told that I talked to only my younger brother, no one else. I didn't talk to my friends in English language, not even my other family members. But yes, just because of my urge, I decided that I would talk, but only to myself. So whenever I got chance to speak in English language, I spoke. While doing dishes, I practiced a lot. I talked to myself, and that helped me to think in English language. To talk to ourselves, it means that to think. So if I am speaking to myself, it means that I am thinking in that language and then I am speaking to myself. So I spoke, and because of my that efforts and because of my that courage, today I am able to speak this language. So now you have to do one thing, that is, if you are afraid to speak in English language, you just need to do one thing. Just tell yourself, just talk to yourself. Tell only positive things to yourself. If there are only negative things in your mind, you just need to do that. Just make your mind to think only positive things. Get motivation from people. There are so many videos available on YouTube. You must get motivation from those people who had started their journey from zero, and tell yourself that what today you are not able to speak this language, tomorrow you will be fluent in this language. So whenever you become anxious to speak in English language, you just need to motivate yourself. Just do not wait for anyone. See, I know that whenever you are afraid, at that time you need someone to tell yourself that you can do it. But I am saying that do not wait for anyone else, because no one is going to turn up. You have to walk alone. It is your journey. You just need to be with yourself. And to be motivated all the time, to be positive all the time, I suggest you should meditate at least for 5-10 minutes every day in the morning. Because I meditated, that's why I'm telling to you. Try for at least a month and see result, and then adopt this habit in your life, in your daily life. We do know that how meditation helps us to achieve our goal. We all know, we hear from people. I am also one of them. That's why I'm telling to you. English is just a language like our mother tongue. As we are able to speak our mother tongue fluently, this is even a language. After doing some hard work, after speaking in English language, you can also speak like a fluent speaker. But yes, initially it's hard to start. But just start. Just get into it. And believe me, you can automatically come across all those things which are important to improve this language. You do not need to learn anything separately. Gradually, you come across all those things which are important to improve this language. So, we just need to do one thing to improve this language, that is speaking this language. If you have someone, then you can speak to that person, but speak at least for a few minutes. And if you have no one, then do not worry. You can talk to yourself. Start speaking to yourself in English language. And within a few months, you can see result by your own eyes. So when I had no one, at that time, did I make excuses? No, I didn't make excuses. I didn't even give up. I dared to talk to myself in English language, and I improved. So just practice as much as possible and improve your language. If you learned something from my video, do not forget to tell me in comment box. And if you like my video, also not forget to subscribe my channel. And thank you very much for watching my video.